Welcome to the podcast. We're shooting from our new producer, Sam Piro. You may remember him from 2 episodes ago.
We're trying something new. Sam offered his services as a producer, so we're trying that out this week. And if it works for everybody, then we'll have a producer on the show, which you don't get this on a lot of podcasts. Usually guests come on and they stay guest. Rarely does a guest come on and become a producer. But that's the kind of stuff you get with Dagnabbit boys. We don't have a camera for him, but he's here. He's in the room. He has a mic.
He has a mic.
Say hello.
Hello. I've never produced in my life, so thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, so he'll be kind of learning this with us, and that just kind of shows the type of pull we have, that we can get a guy who's never produced anything to suddenly take up producing. And that's the belief people have in us.
We looked at our podcast and we said we need a third guy who's also new to this. And that'll get us going in a place that we want to be at. But yeah, so that's where we are right now. That is the direction the podcast is moving in, and if it works out, and if it makes our jobs easier, and everybody's happy, then we'll continue doing so.
Yes,
but right now this is Sam's probation period. So write in if you don't like it. He's off the payroll, which is nothing. He did offer to work for free.
He offered to work for free. I mean, very, very kind.
We made it very clear. Sam said, I want to help you guys out. And we said, we don't have money. He said, I'll do it.
He said he just wanted the experience. And it's like, this is the way to start, because when you start comedy, you start with open mics. This is the podcast equivalent of open mics.
This is a bad podcast to show as a reel for a producer credit.
Yeah.
People will be like, this is bad.
Who are these guys?
These guys are... What is this?
Usually when I watch a podcast, I know who these guys are.
These guys
I don't know who these guys are.
2 nobodies? What the hell? But
are they going to be somebody someday?
Probably not. No, probably not. But I like the couch. It's nice to sit on a couch. Yeah. This is new for us. We're usually at a table.
And we usually record in space. You may notice we're not recording in space.
Yeah, I didn't bring the stuff because...
You can't really set up space in somebody's apartment.
You can't walk into somebody's apartment and say, fucking, there's space now. Get ready for space. Hope you like space. So what are you going to do?
Also, can I leave space here? I don't want to have to bring space every single time.
I'm not trying to bring space back and forth. This space is tough to carry. It takes up a lot of it. So what are you going to do?
My car's not that big. It's not big enough for all of space.
Yeah. Where's your bedroom?
It's behind these closet doors right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
This
looks
is
like a boss battle door.
Yeah. This leads to your bedroom?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dungeon door.
Oh my God.
Well, so they can't even see. They can't even see it, but it looks crazy.
Yeah, and then you had a guy living right where we are now.
Yeah.
Well, of course that didn't work. Now that I see the layout of your apartment, I'm like, well, no wonder that living situation deteriorated.
Yeah.
God damn.
350 square feet of space.
And he was getting pussy right where we are. Did he fuck on this couch?
He was getting double pussy.
He was having threesomes?
Threesomes, yeah.
Having threesomes is so crazy.
Yeah. Not on the couch, though. I made sure that was just reserved for me.
Threesomes in the living room?
Not here in the living room, but
I saw
where?
There's a curtained off. It's a curtained off area over there.
So
there's a lot more room. I haven't toured this place.
Yeah, so it's like, imagine this room, double that over there, or another room just like this in the other room.
Is this supposed to be a bedroom where you live?
Not really, not technically.
What is it supposed to be? Like a walk-in closet?
Oh, that?
This.
Yeah, so that's a closet, and then on the other side of the closet is a bedroom. But there's no door between that closet and the other room. So those are the only doors. You can literally, Michael would joke, he'd be like, it's a walk-in closet. He's like, yeah, I can walk into your room through the closet.
You have to walk into your room through your closet.
No, I can go through, I got 2 entrances right there.
But your bedroom?
My bedroom, I go through the bathroom.
What?
Yeah, it's like a Jack and Jill.
All right, it's a little.
Well, welcome to if you guys are watching, don't live in Los Angeles. This is actually a very nice place for Los Angeles.
It is a nice place, but it's like a trapdoor house.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, no wonder threesomes were happening in here. He was just Scooby-Doo chasing pussy all around.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's so crazy that if you're just a good-looking guy, you could be like, hey, welcome to my really spooky studio apartment.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's I think that's why old guys are like, try and fuck when you're young, because you can not have anything to show for your life, but people will be like, this is hot.
Yeah.
There's a fireplace 2 feet away and a man I don't know trying to sleep.
There used to not be furniture in here.
They're just like, I wish the other guy was awake.
Yeah, I wish the other guy was awake. I hope he's jacking off to this. Did you ever jack off to them having sex?
Oh, no, not that.
All right.
That does sound disgusting. That sounds like some truly depraved behavior.
Well, sure, but
if there's threesomes going on, though, I guess.
You hear a threesome?
You can't get more depraved.
You're like, I'm paying the damn rent. Yeah, I'm going to jack off to these threesomes. You kidding me?
This guy's paying $400.
There's more girls than my friend in this sex. So if I jack off to it, it's not gay for him. There's more girls than my friend, which is the rule. It's a ratio rule.
Oh, yeah. If you jack off to threesomes, then, like, the penis is barely there.
Yeah.
The penis is always somewhere else.
Well,
the penis to canal ratio is not that good.
All right. I think we've gotten our lay of the land here.
Yeah.
We can get into it. Dagnabbit boys condemns the joint U.S.-Israeli military offensive against Iran. It is a violation of international law, and he's going back on what he said of being a peaceful president. Israel's trying to drag us into war, all coming from the 1996 clean sweep plan. The neoconservatives have once again triumphed, and we're being dragged into the Middle East while we're still bogged down in Ukraine, while we should be focusing on efforts in the South China Sea. Shane, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I just don't want to get drafted, you know what I mean? Which might happen. I mean, military numbers are very low.
Yeah, but if they start a draft, we're leaving.
We're leaving the country?
Yes.
I guess we'll have to move to, like...
You go to Canada.
We go to... What part of Canada? What has
Montreal.
a thriving... I feel like it's even more expensive than here.
Probably, but with your beret, you can clean up, because it's French, and you talk to that French lady.
I just turn it... Yeah.
You
I talk to... Here, this is a Kangol hat. There, it's French.
Exactly. So you go there, you can start getting pussy, dodge the draft.
Yeah.
And then come back and call all the people who fought in that war for Israel fucking and pussies.
Oh,
and shame them for their senseless violence.
Yeah, you come back to LA, the streets are even more full than ever.
Mm-hmm.
The streets, there's even more guys missing limbs than ever.
Yes. Let's just be clear. If we do start a war with Iran, and we do put troops on the ground, anyone who supported it and anyone who went there should be shamed, and you should not give them military discounts. You should give them military upcharges.
Yes. The movie theater should cost $1,000 for veterans.
In 10 years, if a guy comes, he goes, I'm an Iran war veteran, go, okay, well, this shirt was $10, and now it's $100,000. And he goes, I don't have that. And you go, well, fucking, why don't you just get it from Israel? If you like them so much, why don't you go ask them for it, you fucking loser? Pissing me off. All these goddamn idiots supporting Donald Trump. He lied to them. He said, I'm a peacetime president. It's going to be fucking great. Joe Rogan's a Tony Hinchcliffe is a all these fucking comedians thinking they understand politics now, supporting a liar. It's bullshit, Shane. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, I wondered, there's this dark aura over you the whole day, and then I realized, oh no, war's happening.
I've been learning too much about the war in Iran.
Yes.
And I'm pissed off about it now.
I'll Google it every couple hours and then be like, that's not good. And then I'll go back to whatever, reading horrible horror novels.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's better to read than, I guess, what's happening. But I don't know.
Yeah, if they try to draft me, I'll be like, how am I going to be able to read?
If they draft me, I am killing every American soldier around me. If you draft me into the Iran war, I want to be clear. Steve Harvey has a joke where he says, don't take me to Afghanistan. I'm killing everybody, but he's talking about Afghanis. I'm killing every white person I see in Iran for peace.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Yes, I would. Any 18-year-old from Arkansas who never had like a shot at anything, you're getting blasted.
I'm blasting his ass.
Yes,
because I don't like his ideas.
I'm blasting your crew cut onto the sand. So yeah, try to draft us.
Draft us.
Try
it.
No. I'd love to pass all the tests and then immediately fucking do friendly fire.
We'll kill everybody.
Yes. And they're not going to expect it because they're going to be like, oh, these are just a couple of nerds. But yeah, I guess, the nerds, we're showing them.
It's about to be Revenge of the Nerds. In Iran, it's about to be Revenge of the Nerds. If you draft a couple podcast nerds like us and you take the mic out of my hand, replace it with a, fucking... What is it, AR-15? Is that what they're using now?
I think, yeah, AR-15.
Give me that. I'm killing American soldiers. I'm them.
Yes, and
men and women, all of them.
We're going to go on a panty raid and steal all the women troops' underwear.
We're doing a panty raid.
And then we're going to kill the male ones. And we're going to be like, these mean the same to me.
Send us to Iran. We're going to do a lighthearted summer camp-style panty raid on the women's barracks. We're going to steal their military-issued panties that smell like poop, honestly. And then we're going to sniff them while we shoot American soldiers in their beds while they sleep. I'm going to systematically go through the bunks and kill every single one of them.
Hey, we got a panty raid and a fragging same night. We're busy. The nerds are busy.
The news is going to be crazy. They're going to be like, there was a panty raid in Iran. A panty raid at a U.S. military base in Tehran. 2 American soldiers panty raided the women's barracks. And then people go like, that's weird. And then they'll go, and then they killed 65 American soldiers. And they'll be like, well, why was the panty raid even part of the news?
They started with the good news. They started with the funny stuff.
We need to come up with good nerd names before we commit. I guess
I'm Squeezer, and you're Timo.
Timo?
Yeah.
I thought nerd names were more like Booger and stuff, but what's Timo from?
It's from nothing.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nothing.
Squeezer and Timo. 2 American nerds known as Squeezer and Timo have committed a massacre of friendly fire against their own soldiers and also a panty raid. They were found surrounded by dead American soldiers while jacking off to panties.
Smelling shit-covered panties.
Smelling sand and poop-covered panties. They'd ridden draft bad with blood on their chest.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be heroes.
We could be heroes. Yeah, we'll come back and
people be spitting on all the other troops, and for us, they'd be spitting on us, but in our mouths, and it'd be beautiful women.
And then we'd go to prison and we'd have sex with Luigi Mangione.
Oh, he would love us there.
That's who we'd hang out with.
Yeah, Luigi Mangione. I googled Luigi Mangione, and it's wow. We're supporting this killer. We're supporting a killer.
Oh, you just googled him. Is that what people are doing now? They're supporting a murderer. Is that what's cool?
Oh, that's what's women's like. Oh, okay, they like bad boys. All right.
I'm a 55-year-old podcaster with $10 million, and I just don't think we should be supporting murder. I believe in law and order, okay? It really pisses me off when people who have been fucked over by the healthcare system do something kind of crazy, but relatively not crazy at all.
We're starting a healthcare thing, aren't we? The Dagnabbit Boys Health United.
Yeah. This is kind of awkward for us because we have been very clear about generally supporting what Luigi did and the general idea of it, but we were offered $2.3 million from United Healthcare to make healthcare, what they said, hip again. So
yes,
a lot of young people are like, healthcare is too expensive, I just want to have insurance, but they're like, we want to make it cool again.
Yeah. So, like we've been graffitiing, like you should, United Healthcare stuff, like gang tags for United Healthcare.
Yeah, so we have the Dagnabbit plan, which is a plan specifically designed for smokers and lovers of literature.
Yes.
And so you get a doctor that is sort of acquainted with the lifestyle that you're living of going to readings, smoking 15 cigarettes, and having 3 wines, and sort of trying to find the best balance for you. And it is only $18,000 a month, which is not too bad with what your parents make.
Yes.
It's a plan designed for people whose parents work for defense contractors, and have a lot of money from that, and will be making.
They have like short hair and arm tattoos if they're a woman, or long hair, and arm tattoos if they're a man.
Yes. The hair is flipped.
That's kind of what they're doing with gender. They're flipping the hair, which I think is awesome. I think it's cool. You gotta have that.
Yeah. It's an interesting plan because you can't see a doctor, but you can get a sex change.
Oh, yeah. United Healthcare is providing millions of sex changes to rich kids all over the world.
Yeah, so if you're just regular sick, that's going to run you that's like a $20,000 copay. I wouldn't even really think about that.
Yeah, just try not to get sick.
But if you want a pussy, they'll cover it.
They'll put a pussy anywhere.
That's a new thing they're doing. They'll put a pussy anywhere you want, which is also going to help for the draft, because if you don't want to get drafted, you show up to the field office with a pussy in the center of your chest.
And you're like, well, they're going to be trying to shoot here, and that's against my rights if they try to destroy my pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So,
I can't go to Iran. They're going to wreck my pussy.
They're going to wreck my pussy. And they go, do you have a penis? You go, well, I have a penis, but I have a couple. I have an original penis. I got one on my knee, and then I added a pussy to my chest.
Instead of toes, I have 10 penises. It really sucks. It really sucks.
I have to wear shoes that can expand based on how aroused I am. You can always tell how hard I am based on how fucked up my shoes look.
I mean, this panty raid's going to be tough. I'm going to get aroused in multiple parts of my body.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to be shot by military police while I'm jacking off, surrounded by dead American soldiers, just sniffing on shit and sand-covered panties in Tehran. That's how I'm going to die.
This is sort of satire people demand right now.
I think it's what people need. I think it's what they want.
It's cathartic.
I think it's cathartic.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
If you need some catharsis, this should be the Cathartic Podcast.
This should release some tension that you might be feeling at this time.
I mean, this will be releasing next Monday, probably. So by now, we'll probably already be in the Army.
I'm taking the podcast equipment.
Oh, really?
I'm bringing it.
Yeah, I mean, next episode should be in a barracks. It'll be the day before. We'll have to have Sam release the episode because we'll be in prison.
It's easy to send people stuff over email.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, next episode we're going to be in basic training, so tune in for that. We'll give you all the info on, how we're
military secrets.
Yeah, military secrets, and how we're putting bleach in other guys' food and how they're throwing up. And then the next episode after that, we could be in Iran. So
most likely we'll be in jail, though.
Well, I want to be able to get there. You know what I mean? I want to be able to get there and get the lay of the land and stuff, and try some food.
Yeah.
What if we got in trouble being in the Army because we wouldn't stop exploring the nightlife and having food? Guys, you have to go on these operations. Yeah, but the hummus
I just started dating this Iranian girl, and
we're dating.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a lot of those.
Yeah. Motherfuckers in the military are mad at us for dating. Apparently, I can't date anymore.
They're like, you can't take off everything. It's like, well, it's honeymoon period,
We're going to Iran. We are marrying Muslim women. We are converting to Islam, and we're murdering American soldiers in a just a slaughter of a base. And then we'll stay there for 2 days, no water, no food, because we burned it, jacking off.
I do bet, though, that we marry an Iranian woman, we convert to Islam, we kill all those American troops, they'll protect us over in Iran.
We could be kings.
Yeah. Yeah. And now what? The nerds are now the jocks in Iran.
A lot of people are like, there needs to be a left-wing Joe Rogan. And the fact of the matter is, the only way that's going to happen is if the podcast is filmed in Iran. So we're going to be in Iran. We're going to convert to Shia Islam. We're going to have wives. We're going to, bear children, but we'll still believe in, leftist politics.
Yes. And maybe we can make a lot of change over in Iran that we couldn't, make with this war.
They've had a lot of change before. I mean, it was only because of the instability that, more theologians and religious leaders came into power. But I think, there have been, there's the Arab Spring. There's a want for freedom. A lot of people want to take the hijabs off. They don't have to if they don't want to.
Yeah.
But if they want to, they can, and they can kiss us.
Yeah, and they can show us their hair. And, if you're an Iranian woman, want to send us pictures of your hair today, if you're watching this from Iran, what if this becomes the most popular podcast in Iran?
I would move there. I'd immediately. Within seconds, I would move there.
We start talking to the owner of the comedy store, like, we should build a comedy store over in Iran.
Well, that we would need to, because we'd be barred from re-entering the United States, because we'd be, hanging out with, their enemy. So, yeah, we could do a podcast from the nuclear enrichment plants. We could give updates, be like, they got 60% enriched uranium. They're going to get up to weapons grade 90 soon. We're going to start building a bomb, attach it to ballistic missiles, get excited. I think that would be fun. Just full anti-West podcast hosted by two out-of-pocket white boys.
Yeah, you think we crazy white boys in America. Imagine how crazy we gonna be in Iran.
Just wait till we hit Iran. Just wait. You think we're popping off now in L.A., and we'll do the same thing when we're in Tehran. Is we'll be like, all these fucking Republicans always talking about how it's so dangerous here. You've never been here. And people are like, but you are in a war with the United States now. And we're like, it's not, but it's chill.
Yeah.
There's good Korean spots. There's good people.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great city for comedy. Great.
What's up with the homeless people over there?
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably fine,
Can you check on that, Sam? Can you see?
Check up how many homeless people are.
What's up with Iran's homeless population? I feel like it's better to be homeless over there because they at least have a bigger history of like Bedouin and nomadic tribes that roam the desert. So if you're homeless, you could probably pop into a tribe with some camels and just kind of, that's just keeping it pushing.
People say Iran has a crazy nomad population.
Yes.
They say the nomad shit over there is crazy.
They say that homeless people in Iran right now is popping.
Really? What is it like?
Homelessness is a significant social issue in Iran. Rising number, families, inadequate conditions.
Okay, yeah. I feel like their homeless issue is more like everybody keeps blowing up our homes. So they're just, our homeless issue is like there are homes and we just won't let people stay in them. But over there, they're like, I don't even know if they really have it's probably not the same concept of homelessness.
Yeah.
As much as they're like, no, I didn't lose my house. They tried to kill me.
Yeah.
And now my entire family's on the streets. But we're going to start a Dagnabbit compound over there. We'll have baseball.
Yeah.
And that's not to spread American ideas as much as we'll just want some stuff for us, We'll
teach them baseball. We'll be like, this isn't inherently an American thing.
And a lot of people are going to be resistant to it at first. They're going to be like, this isn't good. But eventually, like, we'll have Wiz Khalifa come over and do a show.
We're going to build, for all the nomads in Iran, we will be building thousands of sandcastles. We'll bring our American knowledge, our LA knowledge of sandcastles, and we'll build a bunch of like multiple story sandcastles for a lot of these homeless people in Iran.
I mean, a lot of people might think we're crazy for what we're saying, but listen, here's the options. We either go to war with Iran, which could elevate to nuclear levels, which would then let Russia, have the green card to throw a nuke around too. You could do that. You could do the mainstream. You could go with Trump. You could be lied to. You could be an idiot. Biden would have done this too, by the way. They're all terrible. You can do that. Or Sandcastle Competition in Tehran, Dagnabbit Boys Podcast, Dead American Soldiers, By Our Hands, Panty Raids. What sounds better to you? You make the choice.
There is 15,000 homeless people in Tehran.
15,000.
And its suburbs.
What's the population of Tehran? 800,000? Is it a big city? I've only done stand-up there twice.
10 million.
9.7 million.
9.7 million and they only got 15K? They're crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's no reason for us to live in L.A. They're denser than New York.
I'm going to be like those people that move out of L.A. to be like, I just had to get out of there, but I'm going to Tehran.
Crime in L.A. is crazy.
Crime in L.A. is out of control. They're not doing anything about the fires, so I'm going to Tehran. It's just a better place. It's sensible politicians that actually protect their country and believe in tradition and religion. It's good people over there.
One thing I haven't considered is by the time this podcast is released, maybe Tehran will be gone.
No, it'll keep pushing. It'll keep going.
Yeah, because we believe in the strength of the Iranian people. You know,
we do believe in the strength of the Iranian people. We support your struggle against liberal hegemony and the neoconservative imperialist push into your country. We don't like that our country is being hijacked by foreign interest, the Israel lobby not looking out for its own country. Here we are, you know?
Do we know any Iranians that live in America?
Yes, Hormoz Rashidi. He's a friend of the podcast, a friend of ours.
Okay. All right.
Farbar.
What?
Alex Farbar?
Farbar.
Yeah.
Our friend Char.
Oh, yeah,
There are a lot of Iranians because of
why don't
the revolution.
We just, you know, our guests exclusively Iranians.
If you or your parents or their parents even, let's not go farther back than that. Chances are you won't because most people emigrated in the 70s after the revolution. But if you are of Iranian descent, come on the pod, talk it out, talk about killing American soldiers, crucifying them, sending pictures to their parents.
Oh, yeah.
Saying this is what happens if you try and continue the crusades, see what happens.
Yeah, if you want to, we could bring we could kidnap an American soldier on the pod, hollow out his pee hole, and have one of our guests who's Iranian come in, put cigarettes out inside of it.
Let's start torturing people on the pod.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's torture American soldiers on the podcast. We'll kidnap a congressional member who has been bought out by the Israel lobby, and we will just whip them with metal chains.
Jesus style,
until they agree that their decisions are based only off money and fear and not any actual interest of the American people or American safety.
And that's the Dagnabbit Boys promise.
That's a Dagnabbit Boys promise. Another Dagnabbit Boys promise. We will not fall for the false flag created by Israel to drag us into a war in Iran. That's coming soon. Get ready for it.
Yes.
A battleship is going to get bombed. Maybe another 9/11, something like that is going to happen. And they're going to tell you this is the time to hate Iran because Iran did it, but they didn't. Israel did it because they want us to get into this war. So listen, when the new Freedom Tower gets hit by 27 planes,
that would suck, you know.
Don't be an idiot.
That would be so hack to blow up the Freedom Tower.
They are hack though.
Yeah,
this whole offensive against Iran is hack.
Yeah.
It's old news. It's ignoring the newer problems of a rising competitor in China. It's going, let's still take out all of the Middle East because Israel can't have anybody have any amount of power, and they think if they got nukes, they're going to blow them up. It's hack. It's old stuff. It's the same old tired stuff we've always done for the last 30 to 40 years, and it's getting old. It's why we're in the war in Ukraine. Now we're going to get dragged into this one.
It's not funny anymore.
It's not funny. Let's be clear.
They think it's really funny.
the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and Somalia and Sudan and Syria and Lebanon, those were all really funny. That was like Adam McKay, Will Ferrell kind of a run, you know, of like, okay, this is like exciting. There's like a group of young guys, you know, Donald Rumsfeld, like these really funny writers who were talking about rearranging the Middle East in their image. And it was cool to have guys that just loved their work and wanted to make good stuff, you know?
Right now, this is like modern day Adam McKay. It's preachy. It's not that funny. It's, and nobody really wants to see it anymore.
It's on its high horse.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because there was a time for that. There was, you know, people were afraid of Saddam. That was exciting to people. 9/11 happened. So people were like, let's kill any brown person we see. It had like motivation behind it. But now it's like we've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
This is a sequel to a sequel to a sequel, let alone a prequel. We're sick of it.
Yeah, we don't want to see Anchorman Part 2.
And we want something new, which is greater offensives in the South China Sea to combat China's rise. Hollywood won't make that right now. They're not supporting
independent, like they don't want like new IP.
No, they just want to go with the old stuff. They go, what sells? Killing people in the Middle East. And there's a lot of really funny young artists who are trying to get a little bit of a foothold around Australia, and to just this 9- line is like what Gen Z cares about, you know?
Yeah. And if you really want like to get because that's the great market, you know, like the 18 to 30 market, you know, that's who they always talk about. They want the male 18 to 30. It's like, well, then give us something, you know?
Then give us something to care about, because this is my dad's war.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like making Animal House 5, even though I don't think they ever made a sequel. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, listen, Belushi was funny, but he's dead now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to see, you know, what...
John McCain's dead.
Yeah.
Right? That was our Belushi.
Yeah. He was our Belushi, and he's dead. And I want to see what the young guns have to say. You know, I want to... You know, I just want to see what these cool guys have to do. These Netflix introducing guys.
And they're casting these like 18-year-old kids in fucking Arkansas and shit for these wars. You know, and it's like, well, if you're going to cast these kids, you got to find out what they want to play. You know, what do they want?
And the kids want China.
Yeah.
The kids want to see what's going to happen with Taiwan. Do we give a fuck about it? Are we going to let them take it? I don't know, but I want to be there for it. I don't care about Ukraine. They don't need to be in NATO. We provoked Russia. We need to give Russia the land that it's already gotten to end this war before they destroy Ukraine completely. I do not support the war in Ukraine. I do not support Ukraine's right to be in NATO. It was a sovereign nation. If we didn't stop trying to big dick Russia and act like we don't give a fuck what they think, we wouldn't have this war. My point is, it's old. It's tired. We need new writers. Because I'm sick of the same hack.
Yeah, Lauren. If we know you're watching.
You watch every episode, Lauren.
Yeah, we know. So you gotta be looking. You gotta be looking out for this fresh new talent. Because what you got right now, you know, I know SNL is as funny as it's ever been.
It's as funny as it's ever been.
But you could get it even funnier.
Could be really funny, Lauren.
Yeah. Lauren, I know you I would say 80% of the sketches on SNL are great.
And they give a lot of nods to us.
They do. Yeah.
You know, stuff we talk about ends up in those sketches, and Lauren, just want to thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would hope for a little bit of cash, but you know, it's just nice to be, you know, part of like a monstrous run.
It's good to be a part of it.
But
what SNL is doing is a monstrous run. of just fucking home runs comedy.
I mean, have you seen the Beavis and Butthead sketch? I mean,
Have you seen it?
that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But I think these new guys, you could take SNL, because it's already in the 22nd century, take it to the 23rd century.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lauren, I hope we gave you something to think about.
I hope we gave you something to think about.
I was going to say, y'all can be the Beavis and Butthead of Iran. The Iranian
We could-
Beavis and Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that goes back to, like, we need new IP, though. Maybe a Bongus and
Bongus and Fuckhead.
Yeah.
What do you want to see? Beavis and Butthead or Bongus and Fuckhead live from Tehran? We don't listen to MTV. We listen to the Quran.
Yes. Yeah, we be taught, and it'll be very respectful, because as you remember, Beavis and Butthead were very disrespectful to a lot of those artists.
Mm-hmm.
But this one will be incredibly respectful to the Quran, but also very funny.
I mean, what do kids, care about? They care about supporting the Arab people's struggle against colonialism, and they care about the rising power of China. So what do we want? The Quran in Chinese. Put it on SNL. That's the sketch. The Quran in Chinese. Have Bao and Yang read the Quran in Chinese. Stop making Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, I'm so glad we're finally pointing out all the nods we get on SNL.
Listen, you might think we're crazy, but tune in this next Saturday after this comes out and just see. They're gonna have a sketch about killing American soldiers and sexually assaulting the tons of them.
Yes.
They're gonna have it.
And it'll be funny. It'll be very funny.
They're gonna bring Shane Gillis back on, and he's gonna play an American soldier killing and raping other American soldiers.
Yeah.
And Bao and Yang is going to be reading the Quran in Chinese. And you'll know where it came from, right here.
Broadcasting from Sam's living room.
Yeah. And to Donald Trump, who also listens. Don't make the same mistake that past presidents have, letting the neocons get in your head and get us dragged into another war in the Middle East. Kill every American soldier. Poison them.
Only you can do this.
Only you can do this. Sign an executive order to kill our entire army. And then yourself. And do the right thing.
Hey, you don't even have to kill yourself. I mean, all right. Do you want to go down as a good president or a great president?
What if you were the first president that had a 100% approval rating and all you had to do was kill the entirety of the U.S. military and yourself? You'd be the only president with a 100% approval rating while dead.
Every building would be a Trump Tower. Every single building.
Wouldn't you like that? A Trump mosque.
Yeah.
The size of Central Park. We're going to turn Central Park into a mosque. The Donald Trump Mosque, where all of the readings will be done in Chinese.
And McDonald's will be served.
Halal McDonald's will be served. You can get a lamb, a Big Mac, and it will have Szechuan sauce on it.
There will be a Chinese restaurant as big as Central Park above the mosque.
Most things will be in Central Park. It'll be the tallest building in the world. Half of it will be
a Chinese restaurant.
A Chinese restaurant where a quarter of the Chinese population will live.
And you'll look down at your menu and you'll realize, oh, this isn't a menu. This is the Quran.
This is the Quran. Excuse me, I can't read this menu. Oh, you can't read the words of God? Then get the fuck out of Tehran, Beijing.
Which is what New York will be called.
New York will be changed to Tehran, Beijing. Because that's what we give a fuck about. Listen, if you're going to bomb Tehran, we are bringing Tehran to New York City. Live from Tehran, Beijing. It's Saturday night. Mashallah. praise Allah in his greatness. He sees and he knows, and the Western colonialists, oppressors will be smited by the hand of God and the fury of the Mujahideen fighters across the Arab world. That will be the new Live from New York at Saturday night. They'll say all of it every single episode.
It is crazy. We only have 22 views, and 2 of them are Lauren and fucking Donald.
A lot of people say, hey, we got a lot of views on our podcast. And I go, well, literally the guy who runs the funniest show ever made and continues to be the funniest show ever made and the president of the United States, think what you will about him, both watch our show. So you fucking tell me, okay?
Yeah.
You want a bunch of fucking pussies across the country listening to you, making you money, or do you want to have actual sway in the deep state?
And
you decide.
And, most of what Trump has been doing has been influenced by the podcast. Except for the first time, this is kind of why this is an important episode. This is the first time that Trump has done something that doesn't have the Dagnabbit boys' approval.
Because we said we were sick of the wars in the Middle East, and he said he heard that, and then what did he do? Next week he goes, I'm the peace president.
Yeah.
I'm done with these wars in the Middle East, and we said, thank you, Donald. That's a quick nod to us.
Yes.
But now it seems like the lobby and just pressure from Netanyahu has got into his head, and now we're doing this kind of stuff.
I mean, Netanyahu refuses to watch any podcast, much less ours. And
he refuses to come on despite numerous invitations. Netanyahu, if you're serious
he said he's heard really good things about the podcast, but he doesn't have time.
Well, Erin told him about it.
Yeah.
She's a close friend of Benji. So, I know you listen through burner accounts, though, you fucking pussy. Netanyahu, you listen through Mossad burner accounts to what we're doing.
I've heard Trump sends him the clips.
Trump
and
sends him our
they're funny,
clips.
But he doesn't want to watch a whole episode.
Yeah, he's like, what's the context of this bit? And it's like, well, you have to watch the fucking episode to understand it, you idiot.
Yeah. He says he likes that we're doing the 10-minute clips, and he's checked out a couple of them and enjoyed them, but he says he's just not ready to make that jump.
Apparently, he was watching our gay pride riff while they shot off the first missiles towards Iran.
That's why he was laughing so hard.
Like, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah.
And while they're just devastating communities in Iran.
I just hate that our podcast just so happens to be in the background of all these world events.
It's the price of being a public person.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do this. We wanted to be funny. We wanted to, talk more about China, which is funny.
Yeah.
China's funny.
I don't care who you are. China's funny.
China's funny. Okay?
Get her done.
Get her
Get
That's China's motto. They had 100 years of humiliation from us flooding their country with opium. A lot of that money supplied some of the families in America that are still rich. Many rich Cape Cod families were opioid smugglers to China. They had 100 years of humiliation. They've come back stronger than ever, and they don't forget. They're a very old civilization. They don't forget. They have a 50-year plan, and they're angry at us. And if that ain't funny, then you stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, the tagline of China, get her done.
I mean, you talk about some of the funniest comics working today. It's easily top 3 for me are like Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Ayatollah Khomeini.
That's a really good. Do you have a Mount? That's your Mount Rushmore?
That's definitely like of modern day comics of like people living and working right now.
Yeah.
But then like fucking Rolling Stone is like, oh, Trump, Netanyahu, fucking Marcone. And it's like, these are fucking hacks. It's the same liberal hegemonic ideas that we've seen all the time of spreading democracy.
Industry plants.
They're industry plants, you know?
They say, the industry was like, like Trump, that'll get all the views or whatever. They don't know what, like us Gen Z, what we care about.
It's annoying because they platform these people and they give them all this attention and then they don't last because they're not actually connecting with anybody.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Ayatollah Khomeini has this like cult following of people who like really believe in what he's doing. He's doing really interesting stuff, trying to enrich uranium, and was open to negotiations with the U.S. and Israel although he didn't know that they were just fully planning an attack on him. And that's a good example of like industry plant type stuff.
Yeah.
It's clear it's not about the work anymore.
Yeah.
It's about the money.
I would add somebody to the Mount Rushmore, I think. I think Patton Oswalt. I would add Patton Oswalt, modern day, yeah.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt and his recent shift to a one China policy.
Yeah.
And the support for China taking back Taiwan, which, is, in my opinion, not really a sovereign nation as much as it is a holdout of the PRC, the losing side of the Civil War. I think it's the ROC, or the Republic of China. A lot of people want to tell you, they're a sovereign nation. How dare China take it? The ROC fled there, and they both believe in a one China. It's always a one China issue. It's never really a Taiwan sovereignty issue. And Patton, in his most recent special, which was, he spoke fluent Mandarin.
Yeah.
expressed those views. Not a lot of people saw the special. It was considered foreign intervention and propaganda by China. So he got, billions of views, but they're all Chinese. So if you want to talk about people who are really like being listened to and
like actually pushing the boundaries,
it's going to be somebody like Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever. Keep watching the old tired stuff.
Yeah.
Keep watching all this stuff about spreading democracy and, weapons of mass destruction and blah, 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 and ignore the funny fucking shit that's happening in the South China Sea.
Oh, yeah. You want to get on Kill Tony. Oh, wow. It's like, why don't you get on fucking one of the podcasts over in fucking China?
Mm-hmm. Kill Taiwan.
Kill Taiwan.
Yeah. Everybody goes up and does a minute about why China has the right to eventually invade Taiwan, which will probably be in the year 2035.
Yes, and
if you get a golden ticket, you get to join the armed forces. You get to join the specific battalions that will land on the beaches of Taiwan and attack them.
Yeah, and Kill Tony is a very pro-Taiwan podcast, I think.
Yeah.
They've been implying a lot of that. They really respected Taiwan as a CIA asset.
Yeah, I mean, the other day on fucking Kill Tony, Tony was like, it's like nobody's more badass than Nancy Pelosi showing up to Taiwan and having diplomatic relationships with the leaders of Taiwan. That's just fucking awesome. She's an assassin. Welcome anytime at the mothership in this legion of killers. And it's like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. Like, it's just stoking flames against what is our greatest competitor. And so, there's a lot of funny guys like Dai Wong Fu and Chen Zhang that are all funny guys that are one China comedians and have gotten their golden ticket from Kill Taiwan, hosted by Taiwan Hinchcliffe. Filmed at the China Motherland. The China Motherland, by the way, way bigger club than the Mothership, and they sell it out every night.
Yeah.
They just had Yo-Yo Ma played there. So that's pretty cool.
And they sometimes get Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan does go there, which is weird.
Yeah, I do think it's weird, yeah, but
they have diplomatic relations.
Yeah.
Does the comedy Mothership have diplomatic relationships with China? What is the comedy Mothership's opinion on China? I feel like they've been very quiet about it.
Yeah, I mean, Joe does his residency there like once every couple months, and you haven't heard a peep about Taiwan on his pod. Really.
Well, he's selling that new supplement, China Brain.
Yeah.
It's like Alpha Brain, but it changes your brain to go from an American individualist culture to more a collectivist culture way of thinking about what's good for the country goes above what's good for the individual. And he's like, I've been taking it lately.
Should we move to Beijing or should we move to Tehran?
I kind of want to see how things play out.
Yeah.
But eventually I'd love to be bi-coastal.
They,
I don't know if it's
they
really
have been calling
bi-coastal.
Beijing the Austin of China.
Beijing is for sure the Austin of China. There's 250 assassins there. Some of the funniest guys ever, just ready to fuck up Taiwan and take over their microchip producing industry. That's a lot more interesting to me than fucking stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Because I got into stand-up and podcasting because I like to be funny. So that's the thing, where stand-up and podcasting are just, they're surface-level vehicles for funny. But when you see something like China, where they're experiencing the beginning of a population decline, Xi Jinping is getting older and older, he needs to leave a mark. They will only have so many soldiers and the military capability and the money to do this for so long. So they're probably going to invade Taiwan in like the mid-2030s. That's way funnier than stand-up.
Yeah. And just, the population level's going low. When we get there, population level's going up.
To Taiwan?
No. Top population in China's going up.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to fuck.
Yeah, we are going to have a lot, because in America, we're small, minuscule little pussy men, right? Nerds.
Sure, yeah, completely.
Yeah. we get to Beijing, we're the fucking jocks.
We got big dicks in Beijing.
Yeah.
And we're Muslim.
And, yeah, Chinese women that love a Muslim. Love a militant Muslim.
They love it. They love them so much they're actually committing a genocide against their own population of Muslims right now, which does make it a little. This is where I start to get into conflict because we are a pro-Iran, pro-China podcast, but China is not pro-Muslim. They're killing all of the Uyghurs in concentration camps right now, putting QR codes on their doors so they can know who lives in there. So, I don't know. We got to talk to Xi about that.
Does he listen to the pod?
I mean, no, he's busy. His advisors listen to the pod.
Oh,
and
you're
then
right.
they write him a detailed summary.
That explains it, because Trump and Lauren, they aren't really doing as nearly as much as he's doing.
No, Xi listens and Xi follows. He gets a detailed summary of the pod, our political beliefs, what we think should happen with the country, and then he goes from there.
And so, I mean, yeah, stop killing your Muslims.
Stop killing your Muslims. Start reading the Quran in Chinese.
And you should make your own Saturday Night Live.
And Xi, as much as we love you listening, you will not get an invite to the podcast until you stop the murder of the Uyghur population. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if that doesn't change things, then I don't think anything will.
Then you ain't coming on.
Yeah.
Okay.
His advisors have been hitting us up pretty often about, like, do you want to get him on the pod or whatever?
Yeah, but they message us in Chinese.
Well, I use Google Translate, and it still doesn't really make that much sense.
No, it's just like a fucking order of rice and beans and shit. I don't know. But it's also annoying to get Xi on the pod because they're like, you come to us. And it's like...
I said, we have this new producer, Sam. Can Sam come? They haven't responded to that.
They did a full background check on Sam. They were like, he has killed goat. We don't agree with that in China. And we're like, that goat stuff is in the past. Just forget about the goat. Don't be so, he is goated.
Yes.
In that way.
In a way, he is a goat. And we're all goats.
Yeah. Let's all be goats. That's my message to the neoconservatives and the imperialist powers trying to wage continued war in the Middle East. Why not instead of being neoconservative, we be goats?
Right now they're being wotes. Worst of all time.
You're being the wotes. Donald Trump voted number one wote by the Dagnabbit Boys podcast. Trump, don't be a wote. Be a goat. Convert to Shia Islam. And speak Chinese. Do the right thing, okay? Have some fucking gumption for once in your life.
I know you love New York. Wouldn't New York be even better if it was Beijing, Tehran?
How good would New York be if it was Chinese, people who practice Shia Islam in a 20,000 feet high structure that exists where current day Central Park is. We also haven't forgotten about the slab. We should say that.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten.
22,000 feet high, the height of Mount McKinley.
We'll talk about the slab later.
But that, that is a part of our plan for the country.
I mean, we've talked to a couple people about this, like, big names.
We've talked to architects.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like bunk beds. Like, you always want the top bunk. You're going to want to be on top of the slab.
Yeah, but what's important about is we're going to start taking Joe Rogan's new China brain, which gives us a collectivist idea about, what's good for the country is good for the individual. And so people are going to enjoy being in the middle of the slab. They'll enjoy the heat and the fires and the hot chili oil that they have to drink instead of water.
Yeah.
And they'll have a good time. So I don't know. I mean, listen, we've been going on about this for a long time. We have, about 5 or so minutes left until our regular sign-off time. Did you have anything you wanted to bring to the podcast? I feel like I did sort of steamroll this topic over the whole episode.
This was fun. This is a fun thing. I feel like the audience kind of knows where we stand.
Hey, and let me be clear. I ain't going to Iran unless there's Dr. Pepper.
Oh, we bringing Dr. Peppers, though. If they ain't, we bringing some.
We're getting ready to ship out, and we've left our guns and all of our military supplies that they get, because they give you a backpack, and we filled it all up with Dr. Pepper. They're like, "Where's your canteen?" We're like, "We brought Dr. Pepper.
We poured Dr. Pepper in the canteen."
By the way, my Dr. Pepper's hot now. My Dr. Pepper is hot as fuck, and if I don't get her fridge, you better believe I'm killing American soldiers on this base and doing a panty raid. Okay? And they're like, "No, you can't American soldiers. You can only Irani civilians. That's the U.S. code."
They love that. They love, forcefully taking pussy over in foreign countries.
They do it all the time.
The Middle East must have the hottest hoes of anywhere if we're going to war so often and taking the pussy.
I think when you're at war, the hottest hoes are just the women you have a gun to their head. That's what
like
gets military.
Thing.
Yeah, because when they were in Japan, they would tons of Japanese women all the time. Was always a huge part of war tactics. It was a big part of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine in 1948 when they would destroy and cleanse villages. They would women very often. It's to defeat the spirit of the country.
So they aren't particularly hot hoes.
Now, we're not saying that. The women of Iran are very beautiful.
Okay.
And we will marry them.
We'll marry them with their consent.
After we murder everyone on a military base, become idols in the eyes of the Irani people, and enter a more political position.
Are there not women soldiers over there?
Well, they don't really take the pussy as much. They take the pussy some.
Why would we fuck American scum whores? These fucking capitalist, westernized bitches that don't respect God, have never read the Quran, do not respect their husband, do not want to bear children who will also worship Allah.
They don't even wear the hijab. You can see their hair all the time like they're sluts.
I was walking down the street, I saw a fucking woman's hair.
Were you mad?
I was furious. I almost hit her with my car.
Man, that's what sucks about living in LA. A lot of people, they just bare their hair. They're like, it's summertime.
Have you ever noticed that most women in LA show their hair? What the fuck?
I'm on Tinder. These women have these obscene photos of their hair.
I'm like, just somebody without hair, and it's like fucking impossible.
I'm thinking impure thoughts.
So no, Sam, I don't want to fuck the colonialist whores that will be stationed in Tehran. I'm going to steal their panties and kill them. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'm going to steal their panties and kill all of them systematically after I kill the men. And then...
I don't even know if we could have Sam, if he's going to ask us dumbass questions like that.
I mean, who do you work for asking a question like that? I'm starting to feel like this podcast is trying to be produced. That's why you wanted to do it for free. because you are bought by the deep state, and you're gonna AI edit this into like, I hope we go to Iran. I can't wait to go to Iran. It's such a good war for us to fight because they're an actual existential threat to our nation.
God damn, dude. Ugh.
He's gonna change the name to the APAC boys.
Yeah,
which we're not.
Donald Trump boys.
Which we're not.
Yeah, we're not that.
Which we're not.
Yeah.
We're also not Joe Biden, guys.
We're nothing, guys.
We're sick of it, guys.
Yeah, we're Muslim guys.
We're Muslim now. Get used to it.
We're here, we're Muslim, get used to it.
We're going to have a Muslim pride parade on the same day as the gay pride parade.
You know, instead of saying keep it funny, we should say like keep it Muslim or something like that.
Find the truth which resides only in Allah's grace. Find Allah.
Find Allah.
Find Allah.
Yeah, find Allah.
Thanks.
That's to you, Lauren.
That's to you, Lauren. Make the decision. Be Chinese and Muslim or get fucking to death by us. The same as all the American soldiers we're going to be stationed with. That's what's going to happen to them. Get used to it. I'm sick of it. Fuck you. Fuck your capitalist pig families. The United Healthcare CEO deserves to die, and his children will die in the Great War that we will start soon. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Keep it Muslim.